Hello survivors and welcome to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you the most rotten build possible in Soulstone Survivors. Now it's not the most rotten possible, even though I just said it is, but this with testing has been the most successful in the quickest time possible. So it took us 9 minutes 42 seconds to actually get to the overload or endless cycle, so we beat curse of 48 intensity with this build. Now how it works is we've got weapon expert, dash mastery, reroll mastery, and singular focus. Obviously if you didn't want the dash mastery and weapon expert, you could go for like a multicast mastery or the crit mastery rune, but I like to have the dash. I like having that extra survivability with me, having that dash go further and farther, it just allows you to survive those AoEs that you may not have been able to dodge otherwise. And because you only had one rune slot left, we went for one rune power left, we went for weapon expert so that we could not struggle to find one of the Putrefy skills. Now what happens is we have 32 rats or 30 rats running along the map at any given time, and then we got Putrefy going off twice because we have two of them dealing even more rot as well, and obviously the rats exploding whenever they are recast. So some of the most important skills to look for over here is going to be cast frequency, multicast, and then area of effect for Putrefy. So you're going to need those three, and then obviously damage is needed on absolutely everything, but again we are looking for mainly those skills. The next things that we can look for are going to then be some life for survivability, some swift for extra dashes and survivability, then the coup de grace is obviously the exposed weakness, making it so that when we have enough crit, we will apply wound 100% of the time, and therefore applying double the amount of rot as well as other effects all of the time. So we're going to grab ourselves health here. Damage for lasting is going to increase the damage or the multiplier for our arcane power, as well as bloodlust. Bloodlust is there for the movement speed and cast frequency, just so it is at a good speed. Ours is up all the time because the cooldown is lower than its duration. And then our arcane power is there for the multicast. You don't want too much cast frequency, because if the plague rats have less cooldown, they are going to not be up and deal any damage. They're just going to continuously exploding, and although that is really good, it is really bad at the same time, because they're not going to get close enough to the bosses to deal damage. Now unfortunately, the only downside or con to this build is when Putrefy goes off, you have absolutely no vision whatsoever, and we are also getting hit by things, and I don't even know what or how, but things are hitting us, and that's not good for us at all. So we're probably going to lose a life here. Very unfortunate. We will just take it like a champ and lose our life here, but we are going to lower our graphic settings just so that Putrefy isn't as blinding as it has been. That didn't really help that much. Again, I think we need an area of effect for those scorpions. Dust cloud, we just got hit by it and it didn't even look like we were near it. So over here we're going to just kill our totems like we usually like to do, get rid of them. There we go, the one is destroyed already, and let's move on to the second one. So we are going to be looking for some life now. Unfortunately, I am going to have to lower the graphic setting even more, because unfortunately the Putrefy explosions are causing us to take more damage than we need to. Now I did do the whole first of the first cycle or the curse intensity on high graphics. Everything was maxed, well, not the actual graphic itself, but the special effects were all on max. And now that we've turned off Putrefy, you can actually see we are able to live a lot longer. And you can see the boss has spawned. He's already on 5,000 stacks of rot. That was right, 5,000. Oh, that is amazing. So I mean, the boss just literally just spawned, and they are already being melted by the rot. So definitely exposed weakness coming in clutch over there. I wouldn't even say coming in clutch. The amount of rats we have and damage we have because of rot is insane. And it's not just rot. These skills are applying doom, fragility, slow, everything that you can think of is being applied by our rats, as well as Putrefy. And although we do want the damage, we are going to take it. Although it doesn't affect both of them, as long as it affects one of them, that is good. We are going to take the gangrene. You don't need it. If we had something different, we would have gone for that first. Potency over here, very good. We're going to lock the powerful strikes, because that is 15% increased damage for everything except for our Bloodlust and Arcane. I don't believe we have a combustion. We didn't, so we took that. Fragility over magnetic, and potency for our arcane power, so we've got more multicasts coming. So I think even more movement speed might be really good over here, but again, that's just potency for our Bloodlust. But that's going to increase our cast frequency as well, or lower it, so it might not put us in the best of places. So you've got to kind of work a good balance between your cast frequency and Bloodlust, so that you are in a very good spot. Now, I think we have thought about this before, or not me specifically, or I mean I have thought about it but haven't done it, where you go for scent of blood with the plague rats. The reason I think that is a bad idea is if plague rats have a 0.2 second cast frequency, they are not going to get the chance to get close to absolutely anything. They literally are going to be on top of you, and therefore they're not going to really cause any damage unless you are within melee range of the bosses, and you are most likely not going to be in melee range. You're using summons so that you can be far away from the bosses while your minions focus on those bosses. So as you can see, again, 7,500 stacks on the boss over there. It is disgusting. We destroy these bosses in absolutely no time. That was the second set of bosses. This is on endless, so it really does show that these rats are just, you know, the rot damage that they do is disgusting. Definitely need the exposed weakness though. Without it, you are not going to be in the same spot. You're obviously going to do a lot of damage, but you're not going to do as much damage. So exposed weakness as well as crit. So we are on 85% crit now, 95%, fantastic. We're going to grab the Doom because that's just going to give us more damage overall, because we don't want to individually upgrade our rats and our Putrefy. I mean, you can, it's not really a big deal, but I just prefer not to do it that way. I like to try and get them, although I have already done it, so I'm kind of contradicting or being a little bit of a hypocrite here. It doesn't really matter, it's not the end of the world. Upgrade what you like, but try focus to get to the 100% crit. Focus on area of effect, multicast, and a lot of cast frequency, but to a certain point. I think 4 seconds is really good. 3.5 or 3 seconds is also decent. You can see we still deal a whack ton of damage, but I think going under 3 seconds would be really bad. So for now, we don't want to increase anything with regards to potency on Bloodlust or on our rats. The cooldown is in a good spot, and we are happy with where it is. So right now we are going to focus more on our multicast, as well as just flat damage and even movement speed for ourselves, so that we are in a better survivability spot. But as you can see, everything dies really quickly. You wouldn't even think that I am doing Curse 7 or the high intensity curse right now, because everything dies so quickly. You know, it's just really strong and really fun to play. So give it a shot, guys. I would love to grab that, but we're not going to. We're going to grab the magnetic. Potency on that's fantastic. More movement speed means that your rats can get to the target faster, so that when they explode, they are going to be dealing more damage because they are on top of the target faster. So as you can see, we are continuously spawning more rats. When we spawn more rats, the others explode because that's how they work. Oh, excuse me. And we can also just focus on destroying all of the pylons. As you can see, they also get destroyed really quickly. So it is a very strong offensive build, and it's pretty defensive because minions, I mean the enemies as well as the bosses, all focus your minions. The only time you have to worry is when you respawn the rats. You kind of just got to be careful of where you are, because everything will turn their focus to you from the bosses because of that. But a very strong build, and we are nearly done with the endless run. Obviously you can go a lot further with the run itself, and that will just take you a lot. I mean, I don't know how far this can get. Maybe someone can test and let me know down in the comments section. But with regards to just how the build works, this is our our very rotten rat build. We are taking a little bit of chip damage every here and there, but we are able to get it all back because of obviously the life orbs or life mats on the map. There was one in the top left, but we are going to get this over here first. Gonna go for the poison. We don't really want the damage there or the lasting. Let's see what we can get here. We can go for the crit. What else can we go over for? We could have got... No, we don't need the cast frequency there either. Some multicast for magical, that's pretty good. And we can actually go for the 30% movement speed. As you can see, we're moving around now. We are zooming through the map. That's going to help us obviously take a lot less damage because things are not going to be able to catch up to us. And we are able to obviously dodge absolutely every single area of effect on the floor. But obviously this becomes a lot harder the further that the gameplay goes on. So we can actually go for the damage for summons. That means that both the explosive damage as well as the actual attack damage of the rats is increased over there. And we can now focus on this pylon, which was just summoned. So it is very nice that we can get the paladins and things to focus on our actual rats instead of us. Another thing that might be very good is to go full rot build. We could do that for a silly Saturday possibly, or just anything. Right now we got to just focus on living, and that's what the build is. So we do so much damage that our focus as the Necromancer is to actually just survive. And that's probably one of the reasons why this build is a lot stronger than some others. We get to focus on surviving as opposed to trying to, either be in range of a boss or, dealing specific damage to the boss. I mean, my curse has been on my character's head now for a good amount of time. So that was our Overlord cycle. We could keep going. I'm not going to because it isn't really necessary. But this was the build. Okay, I've changed my mind. No, I haven't changed my mind. We're gonna end it over here. I was conflicted over there. But as you can see, Putrefy dealing 425 million damage to everything. The Plague Rats dealing 99 million. So Putrefy able to deal a whack ton of damage because we did have 30 individual summons. And it actually deals 3,100 rot damage over 15 seconds. And your allies release an explosion of rot, applying rot. So because we had 30 rats, each Putrefy would then hit with each rat. And because we had wound, so each rat would apply a stack of rot. So that's 30 stacks of rot. Because we have 2 rots, that's 60 stacks of rot. And because we have wound, that is now 120 stacks of rot. And because we have multicast, that can go up to 240, 360 stacks every 4 seconds. It lasts for 15 seconds. So, you know, it really stacks up really quickly. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.